How much of a reputation can you let go for your business to go viral and become successful? And as an entrepreneur, I ask this question because there's been this thing going on, and a guy called Roy, who is a computer science student in Colombian University, has gone really viral for the wrong things. I know for so many persons, this doesn't feel like it's a wrong thing, but for me, as a software engineer and also as an entrepreneur, I feel that there should be some level of, ethical conduct that one should try and uphold to, because as we as software engineers, if we do not put these things into practice and we do not obey certain laws and ethics, we are literally creating chaos, and we are going to put this whole reputation of the occupation into something else. We are creating monsters. We are going to turn into monsters. In fact, we need some form of control, when it comes to what is ethical and what shouldn't be done. And I know, like, for so many people, you are allowed, because we are living in an age where everything is free to do. There is freedom of speech. Like, you are literally free to do whatever you have to do. But of course, in terms of the use cases of what we would do, how ethical, and do you think that it is necessary to have some form of boundaries as to what is allowed and what is not? So this and so many things are the challenges of the modern age and the tech driven economy, and it's so many things that have been going on. Revolutionary improvements in tech and technologies brought with itself a lot of other issues. And with artificial intelligence, for example, there are bad use cases of it, and if we do not have some kind of control, I think we would run into situations where it can be misused. So let's get back to the story. So Roy, Colombian University student, created this tool called Interview Coder, and I'm mentioning this not as a promotional, but because I want to share this story with us. And so Interview Coder essentially allows you to cheat through interview processes when it comes to widescreen stage of the interview, where you essentially get this, where you get algorithm puzzles and you answer them on screen. The interviewer observes your approach and records like your screen and see if you got the if you got the logic correctly and got the solution. And most of the times it's already premeditated what the solution will be and which approach they would accept. So sometimes you definitely fail just because you did not get the exact approach that the interviewer expected you to get, or to use, and maybe didn't even get the exact outcome. And sometimes so many persons find this difficult to scale through because, hey, this is not the regular approach that we use on our day-to-day routine as software engineers. When we work as software engineers, most times what we do is that we would ask questions from friends, ask questions from the chat, ask questions from like ChatGPT. We search Stack Overflow, to know if our approach is the best, to solve this problem. Sometimes we pick pieces of code here and there just to understand better and see how other people approached similar problems. So this is, I feel, should be one of the ways that should be allowed. It should be something that could be allowed to do as in an interview process. There shouldn't be this thing that during the interview you are not mimicking what would happen in your real day-to-day job experience. And so many people share the same concern, but how do we challenge the status quo? I feel Roy, did something amazing in that regards, exposed a lot of things. So Roy went through the interview stages of Amazon, Meta, Google, Netflix, I think Capital One, and TikTok. He got into all of these companies, interview process, recorded all the interview processes, got the offers, posted them on X, and it started, going viral, right? How did he scale through all the algorithm and data structure stage of their interview processes? He used his tool, which he had created, right? And it allowed him to cheat through these interview stages, where it would overlay on your screen without the interview knowing that you are looking at something else and actually just copying and pasting pretty much. So he got the offers and then posted the recorded interview tests on screen and shared them on his social media handle, including YouTube as well. Of course, I think right now the videos have been taken down from YouTube, but the videos are still there on his website actually. So Amazon got to see one of these videos, sent a message to Columbia University, that this guy is just bullshitting with us and we need this guy to be removed, or else we wouldn't hire any more persons from Columbia University. So this is what they sent to Columbia University, and Columbia University then called him for an interview to know his side of the story, and a disciplinary committee, I believe, sort of. And he also posted something from documents that were sent to him from the disciplinary committee. He posted it on X, and that is another violation of code of conduct and policies of a university. I mean, many organizations, including big tech and every other regular organization, will tell you, don't share our internal memos to the public. It's supposed to not be disclosed. It's confidential. And when you disclose them, you definitely then, violate policies. And that creates more problems for you, But he didn't care about that because, as he said, in his words, he wanted product distribution. So by doing all of that, posting them online, he gets viral, he gets free publicity, even though negative publicity. Of course, so many people say, there is no bad publicity. Even bad publicity is good. It's publicity. So he gets viral. Columbia University penalizes him for sharing their internal memo and confidential information to the public, and therefore suspended him for 1 year. So he would be suspended from now till 2026 May or thereabout, where he can resume if he wants to. Of course, he said he would never resume again, but he already has his publicity. He's now, known for his project. And people in the comment section, if you check his threads, which I would also post here, kind of support what he's doing. A lot of people have criticized these lead code style interview processes as, one of the most difficult things. And why should it even exist? Because, as I said in the beginning, it doesn't mimic what you would do when you get the job. So we should try as much as possible to make the interview process to at least be similar to what I would do when I get the job. Because as a company, which of course I've experienced maybe once or twice, I've gone through interview stages that doesn't reflect what the company would feel like when you get the job. And as I say, if I got into an interview and I find that we are doing this kind of approaches of interview stages that is really crazy, putting so many pressure on the candidates, I would drop out of the interview because the job will suck. I believe that the work environment will be toxic. This is most of the time what happens, what you experience. There are some exceptions. There are some exceptions, but in most cases, the work environment always sucks. So if the interview process is seamless, is quite easy, gives you time to make research, answer the question correctly, take your time. It mimics what you would do on a daily. Okay, I could also say, that as a company, you could already see the person's portfolio. You could already be sure that this person is actually very good at their job before even taking them up onto the stage of this, like up to the stage of the maybe in the first and the second stage of interviews. You already know that this person is actually qualified for the job. The algorithm and data structure test could be done quite easily by testing these persons with assignments, take home. I mean, of course, we know that they would be cheating some way or the other, but we give them this relaxed mood and allow them to show us every other thing about themselves. For example, if they write unit test. Now, after that test, after that stage, in the next stage, you could review the code that they have done at the previous stage, and now you'll be more sure that this person either knows what they are doing or they don't know what they are doing, because that way they'll be able to explain what they've done. You would see the process, the approach they have used. Does this fit into my team, how we work, etc. So but for Roy, I think, a lot of people would look at this in one way or the other. Either ways, you find those who say, you are disrupting the process. Makes sense, it's good. But then there is also like the other side, that you're also killing your reputation, just to get your project going. And when the trend is over, when the virality is ended, and now you're known for the project, what's next? If you go to get investors for a different project, for example, would this reputation not be called into books? Would someone not say, okay, this guy, maybe I'm overthinking it, I don't know, but let me know in the comment section what you think about this, because I also feel like there would be lawsuits against him if this project goes out as a company instead of like just as a side project. If you created a company and this project is part of that, I believe that there would be lawsuits coming against you because of the violations you did in the beginning, where you recorded the internal processes of many of the companies and posted them online. By the way, he also added the LinkedIn, updated his LinkedIn profile to include the profiles of him working for the various companies that he got offers into, including Amazon, Facebook, Google, etc. And LinkedIn banned his account because he did not get like the work emails to verify that he's actually working there. So that's like one sign that this is not right. Okay, and so I feel there will be a lot of issues coming in the future. For now, enjoy your trend, make good use of it if you can. Try to salvage the bit of your reputation that is left, because yes, it doesn't matter now, but it will definitely matter if you are advancing into something that is be more corporate. People will look at this guy and say, we can't rely on this guy to keep certain things to himself, except you are going through the route of entrepreneurship, where you are essentially the one bootstrapping everything for yourself. You are the CEO of your own company. You never want to get funding from anyone else, because a lot of people are looking at these things from different angles, and you never know who you are going to need in the future, who you are going to talk to in the future, and the background checks that they will do to verify that you're someone that is credible and credit worthy, to actually invest in you as a person. But it is what it is. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but let me know how much of your reputation you would be able to damage in order to get famous, get viral, get success. And I will see you in another video. Thank you for watching. Ciao.